I was standing outside Stonewell Hall, rehearsing the opening line of my dissertation defense for what felt like the 1,000th time when my phone buzzed in my hand. Mom's name lit up the screen. I answered with a shaky breath. "Maya, sweetheart, where are you?" Her voice was too bright, too distracted. "Your presentation is next Saturday." "Right. We're already at Chase's spring cookout." My stomach tightened. "No. Mom, it's today, May 12th. I've told you that since last September." There was a pause, then the faint crackle of laughter and clinking glasses behind her. "Well, we cannot just leave now. Everyone's here, and Chase put so much work into this. We thought you said next weekend. I emailed you." I said quietly. "I mailed the letter. I reminded you at every dinner. You do not need to take that tone." She snapped. "It was an honest mix-up. We will celebrate you properly later." I felt something inside me bend, then split clean. Silent. "I am defending my PhD today. This is the biggest moment of my life. And we are proud of you," she said, already sounding tired of the conversation. "But you always make things heavier than they need to be." Maya. There it was, familiar, expected, crushing. Before she could hang up, I whispered, "I wish you were here." She sighed. "We will call you tonight. Do your best." The line went dead. I stood there, watching students take photos with parents who actually showed up. My fingers trembled around the phone. If you are still listening to this, stay with me. This is the story of how that one call broke something open and how everything that came after forced me to finally choose myself. After Mom hung up, I stood there, the phone still warm against my ear. It should not have surprised me, not after a lifetime of being the person everyone in my family glanced past. Growing up, the Collins house revolved around two people, and neither of them was me. Kendra, my older sister, floated through life as if the world arranged itself to flatter her. Mom once said, "Some girls just have a glow." And Kendra smiled like the glow came with a crown. She organized charity brunches, posted perfect photos, and never let anyone forget she was the firstborn. Then there was Chase, 3 years younger than me, the golden boy. If he brought home a C-, Dad called it character building. If I brought home anything less than an A, Dad barely looked up from the newspaper before saying, "You can do better than that." I remembered one night at dinner when I tried to talk about winning a scholarship. "That is wonderful, honey," Mom said, eyes still on Kendra. "But let your sister finish. She was telling us about her upcoming gala." Chase smirked, stabbing his fork into a biscuit. "Yeah, Maya, you talk too much about school stuff." Mom laughed softly, the kind that told me the joke was on me. "Your brother is teasing. Do not be so serious." Serious. That was the word they always used for me. Not brilliant, not hardworking. Just serious. Years later, when I got into the PhD program at Boston University, Dad nodded once and said, "Hard work pays off." When Chase announced he was taking a management role at Dad's company, the whole family went out for steaks. That was how it always went. Their milestones were celebrations. Mine were quiet nods squeezed between conversations about barbecues and charity galas. So when Mom told me they chose Chase's cookout over my defense, it did not come out of nowhere. It was simply the moment I finally stopped pretending I mattered to them the same way they mattered to me. The defense date arrived in my inbox the previous September, May 12th at 3 in the afternoon. I printed the official Boston University letter, slipped it into an envelope, and mailed it to Raleigh. I even wrote, "Please read this carefully" at the bottom, as if that would change anything. A few days later, the family group chat lit up. Mom, "So proud of you. Sweetheart Kendra. Incredible news. Sis Chase, nice work. Maya." Dad sent a single thumbs up, his version of enthusiasm. I followed up with a calendar invite, then another. I brought it up during phone calls. I reminded them at every Sunday dinner I managed to attend. Please keep May 12th open, I told them. It would mean everything if you came early for photos. Mom always gave the same breezy answer. We would not miss it for the world, Dad murmured. Got it on the calendar, without lifting his eyes from his emails. But in March, Chase posted his announcement, Spring Kickoff Cookout, May 12th, 1 to 6. Biggest one yet. My chest tightened. I typed immediately. Chase, that is my defense day. He replied 20 minutes later. Your thing is at 3. Right. People can do both. You can swing by after. We will celebrate you then. I called him. The defense lasts hours. I cannot teleport from Boston to Raleigh. He sighed loudly. You always make everything complicated. When I told Mom, she sounded delighted. He worked so hard this year. The cookout is becoming quite the event. It is on my defense day. We will work something out, she said. Do not get emotional. Dad weighed in that evening with a brief message. Mom said you are upset. Just focus on your presentation. Kendra sent a voice note the next morning. Maya, Chase already sent the invitations. You cannot expect him to change everything now. Each word carried the same message, one I had heard for years in this family. Adjusting anything for me was simply too much to ask. On the morning of the defense, I woke before sunrise, heart thudding like I had been running in my sleep. I ironed my navy suit for the second time, checked my slides twice more, and forced myself to eat half a piece of toast. By noon, Jenna Lee was knocking on my apartment door with her parents behind her, arms full of flowers and a hand-painted sign that read, Go Dr. Collins in bright letters. Jenna's mom hugged me tightly. Your family must be thrilled. They are meeting us there. Right. My smile barely held. That is the plan. On the drive to Stonewell Hall, Jenna kept glancing at me. You okay? I will be, I murmured, though the truth sat like a stone in my chest. Inside the building, candidates stood with their families for photos, parents adjusting ties and brushing hair off foreheads. Jenna's dad held up his phone. We should get a picture of you before you go in. I nodded, but my phone vibrated at that same moment. A text from Kendra Chase's ribs are unbelievable today. Wish you were here before your thing. My throat tightened. My thing, that was what they had reduced it to. At 2:15. I stepped into the hallway and called Mom one last time. She answered over a wave of laughter and clinking glasses. Maya, where are you? We are at Chase's already. I am at Boston University. My defense is in 45 minutes. No, sweetheart, that is next weekend, she insisted. We cannot just walk out now. There are neighbors, co-workers I told you for months. I whispered, you need to calm down. We will celebrate properly later. A hollow ache spread through me. I just wanted you here. She sighed, impatient. Do your best, Maya. We will talk tonight. When I hung up, my hand shook. Jenna found me standing against the wall, staring at nothing. They are not coming. I managed. She wrapped an arm around me. Then we will sit in their seats. When the clock struck 2:45, the candidates lined up outside the auditorium. Jenna squeezed my hand once before taking her seat with her parents. I walked in behind my committee, trying to steady my breathing. Inside, families filled the first few rows. Parents whispered encouragement. Siblings waved. Someone's grandmother held a bouquet bigger than her torso. I scanned the section marked with printed name cards. 4 seats labeled Collins family. 4 empty chairs. My chest tightened, but I forced myself forward as Dr. Patel introduced me. As I stepped to the podium, I caught Jenna's eye. She nodded. A quiet, solid, I'm here that kept me from falling apart. I began. Good afternoon. My name is Maya Collins, and my work focuses on drought-resilient water reuse systems a few minutes in. I saw Jenna's dad filming proudly, Jenna's mom wiping under her eyes, Jenna giving me the smallest thumbs up. Their presence steadied me. Dr. Rosen interrupted with a question. Ms. Collins, how does your model account for long-term municipal demand? I answered cleanly, drawing diagrams on the board. More questions followed. I defended every calculation, every choice. By the time we reached the final slide, I felt my voice strengthen despite the hollow ache sitting behind it. The committee stepped out to deliberate. I sat alone at the front, staring at the 4 empty seats. At 28, I had crossed the country alone for every achievement. This was simply the moment I finally saw the truth without trying to excuse it. When the door opened again, Dr. Patel smiled. Congratulations, Dr. Collins. Your dissertation is approved with distinction. Applause rose around me. Jenna's family stood to cheer. My committee shook my hand, each one beaming. Jenna nearly tackled me in a hug when I reached her. You did it, she said. They missed something incredible. That night, her parents insisted on taking me to dinner. At the restaurant, Jenna's dad raised his glass. To Dr. Collins, he said, your work will change lives. I smiled, but my phone buzzed in my pocket. A message from Mom. We mixed up the dates. Honest mistake. Do not be dramatic. Maya. Another from Chase Cookout was insane. You should have seen it. Anyway, congrats or whatever. Kendra chimed in. Hope it went well. Chase's ribs were legendary today. I locked the screen, placed the phone face down, and listened to Jenna laugh across the table. The sound anchored me in a way my own family never had. By Monday morning, the messages had shifted from condescending to accusatory. Mom left voicemail after voicemail. Maya. This silent treatment is childish. You cannot punish us for a simple mix-up. We are your family. Call me back. I listened to none of them all the way through. Instead, I opened my laptop and stared at the petition form I had downloaded the night before. Petition for legal name change. Jenna sat on my couch, legs crossed, watching me quietly. You do not have to rush this, she said. I am not rushing, I murmured. I have been trying to earn their attention for 30 years. She didn't argue. She just stayed beside me while I typed Maya Brooks, my grandmother's maiden name, the only person who ever showed up without being asked. That afternoon, I called Clearwater Innovations in Seattle. This is Maya Collins, I said. I am accepting the offer. My new supervisor, a soft-spoken engineer named Mark, sounded thrilled. We are excited to have you. When can you relocate soon? I told him, very soon. I spent the next few days closing accounts, deleting old social media, and transferring everything to new emails under Brooks. I changed my phone number. I cleaned out my Boston apartment one drawer at a time, each empty space feeling strangely like freedom. When the moving truck arrived, Jenna helped me tape the last boxes. She rested a hand on my arm. You really are leaving everything behind, she said softly. They left me behind years ago. I replied. We carried the final box to the truck. I took one last look at the city where I had earned every inch of my life alone. Seattle waited. A new name waited. And for the first time, I felt like I was choosing myself, not begging someone else to choose me. Seattle felt different from the first week, quieter, steadier, like the city understood what I needed. At Clearwater Innovations, people listened when I spoke. Mark stopped by my desk after my first presentation and said, Your model is going to reshape how we work with drought zones. No one had ever spoken to me like that back home. I settled into a rhythm: long days in the lab, dinners with new coworkers, slow evenings with Ethan Myers, a structural engineer who appeared in my life with a gentle smile and absolutely no expectations. He asked about my research with genuine interest, not polite obligation. 5 months in, my phone buzzed with Jenna's name. I answered immediately. Maya, she said, voice tight. Your mom found me on LinkedIn. She said you had some kind of breakdown. She wanted your new number. I felt the familiar sting, but it faded faster than it used to. Do not give it to her. I will not, she promised. But is this really it? No contact at all. This is the happiest I have ever been. I told her. That has to mean something. 2 days later, I saw the obituary online. Ruth Collins, my mother's older sister, the only one who had ever mailed me handwritten cards after every academic milestone. I closed my laptop slowly. I would go to her funeral not for the family I left, but for the one person who had ever seen me clearly. I flew into Raleigh under the name Maya Brooks and drove straight to the church where Aunt Ruth's service was being held. I slipped inside quietly, hoping to sit in the back and leave unnoticed, but Diane saw me the moment I stepped into the aisle. She hurried toward me, voice trembling with anger and relief. Maya, where have you been? You disappeared for over half a year. Robert joined her. You should have told us where you were. That is what family does. Kendra folded her arms. This is still about that defense, isn't it? Chase scoffed. You always turn small things into drama. Their voices echoed in the quiet chapel. I kept mine steady. Name one important event of mine you have shown up to in the last 15 years. Silence. 4 faces, blank, searching, failing. Mrs. Hartley, Aunt Ruth's closest friend, approached gently. Your mother received your defense letter, she said. I mailed it myself. She told me they planned to be there. Diane went pale. That is not... It is enough, I said. I looked at all of them, my family, who never made room for me. I begged for years to be seen. I am done begging. I am choosing the people who show up. Diane's voice cracked. We are your family. Then why? I said softly. Was I never treated like one? I walked past them and out into the bright afternoon, the air warm against my face. I did not look back. If you are still with me, listening to this part of my story, thank you. Your support means more than any last-minute apology ever could, and if you want to hear what happened next, stay close. There is more to tell.